So if you've been around the gaming space for the last couple years or so, specifically if you are a PlayStation player, you may have noticed, specifically on PlayStation anyways, that you see this character in a ton of their promotional stuff on their storefront all the time. And let me tell you, she's from a game called Kena, Bridge of Spirits. Her name is Kena. And this game is not what you think it is. I bought this game a few months back because it was on sale, and I decided to play it about a week ago, and I'm really glad I did. It is a fantastic video game, and in disguise, an extremely difficult game, depending on the difficulty you play on. Now, I'm no wimp. I'm no terrible gamer. I decided to go into this game marching on the highest difficulty possible. And do I regret it? No. Did I regret it when I was playing it, though? 100% yes. While it might have a cute, fun Disney animation aesthetic on the outside, the coat of paint anyways, it is a very difficult and challenging game that you could honestly compare to Dark Souls, if you want. Now, I've never played a Dark Souls game all the way through. It's something I need to do. I played a little bit of the Demon Souls remake on my PS5 because I have it for my PS5. And that was a nightmare just to defeat the first couple bosses. Now, I wouldn't say Kena is as hard as the Souls games because you actually get checkpoints, where in the Souls games you don't really, I mean, you do get checkpoints, but like this one, you like load back to your way to save instead of dying and having to, and you lose stuff, you know, it just reverts your save. So that is really the saving grace of this game. But besides that, the enemies, the AI, it is like insanely difficult, and like I felt like I was crushing my controller at some points when I was playing this game. The footage I'm showing throughout this video is from the first hour of the game. I only recorded the first hour because I didn't want to fill up my entire hard drive by recording the entire game. But this just kind of gives you a general idea of what it is, what it looks like, and how difficult it can be. But overall, this game is just incredible, and I would highly recommend playing it if you can. It's a PlayStation and PC exclusive. If you have an Xbox or a Nintendo Switch, sorry you can't play it, but if you have the means of playing it, I would highly recommend it all the way. I'll give you a little bit of a synopsis on the game while I'm here. So your name is Kena, and you pretty much connect in this world. There's the spirit realm and the physical realm, pretty much, and they kind of collide. Like, you can jump between them as Kena. She can bridge the spirits, you know, it bridges the spirits. And pretty much there's this, you know, beautiful land that's all corrupt, and you have to go and fight these corrupt monsters to heal the land and free the people and the souls and the spirits and all that stuff. So it's a pretty simple story. It's a very, I would say, child-friendly story. It's like, you know, it's literally like a Disney Pixar movie kind of story. But that doesn't excuse how this game is not made for kids, is what I'm saying. Because even though the story is like that, and that's kind of what it is, it can be unbelievably difficult from playing it on the highest difficulty, I would say it is. But even if you lower it a bit, obviously if you lower it, it won't be on the level of Dark Souls, but man, it can still be hard, especially if you're just a casual gamer in general. You have a skill tree you can upgrade, and you unlock 4 main powers over the course of the game. I'm not going to spoil what they are, but they do help advance the gameplay, and they actually help out a lot more than you might think. So skill tree is very nice. There's also these little minion things. They're called rot, and they pretty much, you go around and you collect them while you're playing the game, and the more of them you have, the more powerful you can get, and you can use them for different tasks. You can, like, I'll spoil one of the upgrades for your magic staff that you have, that you carry around. One of the upgrades you get, one of the first upgrades you get, is you can turn it into a bow and arrow with, like, use the light, and if you use the light arrow with, like, rot, you, like, deal extra damage and stuff, and so it's all around very useful. And the game is super fun and replayable, like, a lot. The footage from the first hour that you are seeing, you help these 2 children free this man named Taro, who's been corrupted and turned into a monster. And you go, it's open world, kind of. It's like God of War open world, kind of, where it's like, it's open world, but you can't just walk over any hill you see or anything. Like, there's a lot of invisible walls, like in God of War 2018 and Ragnarok. But you go, like, over into the forest, and you get a lot of backstory, and you cross over the soul realm and the normal realm, and you eventually free Taro's soul, and that's what you get in the first part of the game. Then you end up freeing another soul, which takes about another few hours to do. and then you eventually get to your main boss, and then your main boss has another boss, and all around on the highest difficulty, it took me about 20 hours to beat this game. And I think the game's like an 8 to 12 hour game, but putting it all the way at max difficulty, it took me about 20 hours to beat this game, because it got very frustrating sometimes, but it was definitely worth it in the end, in my opinion. If you're a person who likes to go for platinum, like if you're on PlayStation, you like to go for platinum trophy, good friggin' luck, because just beating the main story took me a while, as you know, and it was very difficult, but there's a lot of side things you can do, a lot more areas you can open and explore. You can replay bosses and enemies to unlock new cosmetics and new equipment and stuff, and upgrade, and there is a lot to do in this game, a lot more than you might actually think, especially after just playing through the main story. There's a lot to do afterwards anyways, and that's why I'm saying the replayability is actually really good, especially the ease of access it gives you fighting old bosses. And if you beat the game, there is a new game plus, so if you want to run through the game with all your upgraded gear, you can also do that out of the gate, which is just awesome, because a lot of games don't ship with a new game plus anymore. You have to like wait for it, or they just don't have it at all. I kind of just wanted to bring attention to this game because I feel like it's not talked about a lot, but yet you see promotion or marketing for it all over the PlayStation Store all the time, which I find really funny because as far as I know, a lot of people don't know about it and a lot of people just don't play it. And like Sony literally picked up this indie company. It's the company's very first video game, and Sony funded it to make it a PlayStation and PC exclusive. So I find it funny that not a lot of people know about it, but if you are watching this video, I would highly recommend playing it. It's actually really fun. When I say it's comparable to Souls, it definitely is, especially in the highest difficulty. But if I can compare it to the most Souls-like game, I would compare it to Sekiro, mainly because of like, you know, reverting loads and stuff, and it not just sending you back like in the Dark Souls and Demon Souls games to wherever your last save point was, and then you lose all your stuff. You can actually just revert a load, which is like, if that's making any sense, it's a lot more convenient because you don't lose anything if you die, unlike the Souls games, of course. And so it definitely helps out a lot. That's what makes it, that's really the main thing that makes it a lot easier. But other than that, it's hard. It's really fast paced too. I know in a lot of Souls games, depending on, you know, what your build is, you can be pretty slow and stuck to the ground, but Kena is like jumping around, hitting things with her staff, using her bow and arrow and her other abilities I won't spoil for you today. And using the rot to your advantage is actually like super vital, especially playing on the highest difficulty. And so this magical, mystical, whimsical realm of this Pixar animation game is just out of this world incredible, and so many people are sleeping on it. It's like criminal to me. The game didn't come out too terribly long ago, but I am hoping for a sequel. I don't know how successful the game was. No matter how successful it was a really good game, so I really hope it gets picked up for a sequel or some DLC in the future, because once I beat it, I was really just wanting more from it, because I did beat it in 20 hours, like I said, on the highest difficulty. While that may seem like a long time, in the gaming world, 20 hours is not a super long time. It kind of is, but you know, it could be a lot longer. I mean, like, I think the average playtime for The Witcher 3 is like 55 or 60 hours. Elden Ring is like 100 hours if you do everything. So, you know, obviously it's on the shorter end of the spectrum, and I am hoping for more in the future. But for all of you who haven't even touched it or even knew about it, definitely play it, especially if you like the Souls games, because it does really give you a challenge if you up the difficulty enough, of course. Because if you play it on easy, it's really easy, I would assume. But yeah, just incredible experience, and I feel like I just had to come on here and talk about it because, well, yeah, I already explained it to you. Alright, I'm pretty much rambling at this point. I love it. Highly recommend it. It can be pretty irritating sometimes, but man, once you defeat some of those bosses, you are just like so happy you actually did it. And just like a Souls game, it's really, really hard, but once you beat it, you feel so accomplished and so proud of yourself. So if you're looking for that satisfaction again, and you know, have nothing else like it to play, if you played all the Souls games or such, give it a try. It's great. And yeah, that's about it. See ya.